Meeting of the Alva Tourism Tax to order. And first item of business is discussion action on the minutes from the November 20, 2019 meeting.
I move we approve the minutes that are supposed to.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second.
Connor,
Aye.
Charles,
Aye.
Noble.
Aye. Second is discussion action of the financial report ending 2020. And Jody, you're up.
Okay, starting off, we have $634,491.34, $5,200 to the wayfinding signage, $6,000 to the Alva Chamber of Commerce Northwest Oklahoma Visitors Center Secretary, $2,705 to the first annual Alva Fall 4D, $31,250 to the Alva Bull Battle, $8,300 to the Reunion 2020, $10,111 to the Budget for Tourism Advertising and Promotions Committee, $500 for Future, $2,500 for Standing, which leaves us with $567,923.34. And the, let's see, I've turned in $2,000 for the chamber secretary, and then the first annual, I forgot to take that off on the sheet, the first annual Alva Fall 4D is paid. They've already got their check. And then I turned in the Alva Bull Battle and some of the money for the Tourism Advertising and Promotions Committee. So, but it didn't take that.
So, the quarterly tourism report that we see by hotels, wow, I don't know if maybe Connor understands it. I noticed Dr. Tucker was looking at it and shaking his head, and I can make no sense of it. I cannot approve that. I don't think that is not what we've been seeing, and doesn't make any sense to me. I tried looking at it multiple ways, and I couldn't come up with it. What it was supposed to be.
That's a pretty big swing on Hotel 11 from first quarter to the second quarter.
True, yeah. There's some major things, and then why is the second column down all labeled the same
Right.
as the one above it? I mean, normally this is 1 year, and then this is the next year down below it. And so, yeah, I
I
don't
move we table the financial support.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to table the financial report.
Connor,
Aye.
Charles,
Aye.
Noble.
Aye. All right, next is discussion and action on the 2020 Nescatunga Arts Festival, not to exceed $7,550.
Yes, we have attempted to estimate as best we can what our cost, what our revenue, our expenses, including advertising, and so forth.
It appears to be a lower amount than it has been in previous years.
Yes, we lowered it a little bit. Yes, sir. We're trying to add some new things this year. One thing we're kind of concentrating on, well, there's a couple things, is more children's activities, thinking if we have more children's activities, we'll bring in more families. So we've got some things we're planning. And then we're going to do a sugar show, which is a competition of decorated cupcakes, cookies, and cakes, 3 categories. And we're going to hold that early in the morning, well, between 9 and 11 over at the extreme, because we'll have to have air conditioning to do that. So that adds kind of something new. We hope.
So is there tasting?
We may.
Need a judge.
We may, yeah. He wants to be the judge.
That's right.
We may allow some tasting, yes.
What was cut back from the previous year to how much was cut back, or not how much, what was cut back to cause a less amount?
We're not advertising in as many newspapers, and we're not advertising on as many radio stations, because we know the ones now that we think we get a response from. Yeah, so we cut back some on the advertising amounts on particularly radio and newspaper.
Is the Alva food, Alva Market food booth, is that new, or is that something that's been ongoing?
No, that's what we estimate the cost of the,
They're not doing it, they're just buying food from them?
we're buying food from them, yes. And whatever we make on those booths goes to us. You know, and that's where we get the money that we do scholarships for band and choir and theater. And last year our kids and cops stepped in and helped us in one of the booths, and robotics team helped us in one of the booths. So we give scholarships to whoever helps us in those booths.
I'll move that we approve amount not to exceed $7,550 for the Nescatonga Arts and Humanities Festival.
We have a motion, a second.
Charles?
Right.
Connor?
Aye.
Norman?
Aye.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Next is discussion action on the Big Cruisin' Car Show, not to exceed $26,300.
Evening, I'm Joe Phillips, and this is David Ingram. We are the co-directors, coordinators of the Bank Central Big Cruisin' Car Show. This is the 20th, will be the 20th annual, and we're hoping for bigger and better things. The club that sponsors it is the Race Club, and we also, well, the Race Club and Alva Chamber of Commerce, but the Race Club and the Chamber of Commerce kind of man or staff administrate that event. The event takes place downtown on the county grounds and several streets here in Alva. We really think it's going to be a bigger show this year. Hopefully, weather I think is the biggest deterrent from not being a big show. But with this being our 20th annual, we're actually giving away a 1980 Corvette this year for anybody that enters a car in the car show, excluding any car club members. Race club members cannot win. So we never have actually got to our goal of 500. I think we had 497 two or three years ago, and we've been around 480. But it seems like we're right there at that number. But 500 is our goal, and I really think we will eclipse that this year. And we have some new things, some things that are coming back that we haven't had for a few years. Like I said, we're giving away a car. Our events or entertainment is going to be possibly a little bit different again this year. We actually have a dyno guy coming back again this year. And I think we're probably trying to do some of that stuff.
We're really
for the
trying to
20th.
step it up for our 20th. We're wanting it to be the best show we've ever had, or anybody has ever had for our 20th. So we're really trying to step it up, give them the big bang for our 20th.
As you can see, our total expenses that we have estimated, $62,410. We are asking for $26,300, which I think is the exact same amount we've asked for last year. And I do know that we did not use that entire amount last year. Not saying that we will not use it this year, because I do think that we're going to have some bigger and better things. So $26,300 is what we're asking for. Hoping that that's something you all can do for us. Questions?
This does bring in a lot of people from out of town too. I was talking earlier, I think it's one of the main events in Alva that brings people from out of town.
Our top three biggest events every year, I'd say.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's the biggest one as far as hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a little prejudiced, but I believe so. I think, if you're
Yeah.
looking, we're filling motels up during this car show, plus the people going out to eat, and the local businesses, with it being on the square, they're getting a lot out of it too.
My personal favorite.
You got entertainment there for $10,000, does that include, what, for entertainment?
Entertainment over here on the,
Of what we're asking for the 4,100, you mean?
Expenses, you're, close to the bottom there. Got 4 lines up, 5.
here. Okay.
That was for like when we have the entertainment with
I know what it is. Okay. We have, the dyno is 3,500 of that, and we also are planning to have a couple of the 405 guys, which are actually the television race drivers that,
405 wouldn't come out.
what are those, what are they called?
The street outlaws.
Street
Wouldn't
outlaws.
come to
Street
me.
outlaws that we plan on having in. And then the guy that we had last year, I don't know if you all saw it or not, but the guy that had the big dragster that raced down through, we're going to have him back again. So there's your about.
That's when we had Eddie Munster too, and
Right.
It's all, but like I said, we're wanting to do more entertainment this year too, being it's our 20th. So we're still brainstorming on what we want to do. So to narrow down 100%, tell you what we're going to have for 100% yet, we're still brainstorming. It's still early in the storm of it.
Well, I know we're for sure having the dyno and the dragster guy are for sure coming back. So you're looking at, there's, $6,000 or pretty close to it there.
I know when we have the street outlaws, it brings a lot of people to it. What's that?
Yeah.
So supposedly the #1 male watch show.
It was amazing the comments that from Eddie Munster the younger crowd didn't know who he was, but the older crowd was just amazed with him being here too.
Another thing, Dr. Tucker, that another part of our entertainment is Elvis is coming this year.
It's probably worth the money.
He may come down this year. his last name may not be Presley. Yeah.
I move we approve the request not to exceed 26,300.
Second.
Motion to approve, we have a second?
Connor,
Aye.
Charles, Norval.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next is discussion action on Alva's Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise, not to exceed $4,500.
I'd rather gone first, but it hits you with a hard we've done this for several years and it grows every year. It's hard to really put down a number of who attends or how many people attend because there's no registration for it. I would have to admit the bulk of the people probably that are at the cruise and around the cruise are locals. We're gradually drawing more and more people in. We're trying to emulate what Enid does with their cruise, the Van Buren cruise, where it lasts 2 days and it draws in large numbers of people from quite a ways away. I've gone several times myself. This year, to try and improve the cruise, to draw more people to town and more people downtown during crazy days, we're going to have a car show downtown. Like all car shows, their first time, it doesn't draw a lot of people. We're hoping for, say, 40 or 50 cars to come down to it. Last year, we asked for $4,500, and we did not use it all. It's mainly to go to advertisement and entertainment. We have 3 bands, I believe, or there's 3 this year again. There'll be 3 bands down on the boulevard entertaining the people. It's just a fun evening. If you have not gone to it, I suggest it you do. It plays a lot of different varieties of music that 3 different bands do, and one of them will hit the area that you're interested in. Open to any questions? This is again the Race Club and the Chamber of Commerce partnering on this deal.
Do you know who the entertainment is yet?
I can't.
Do you know who the entertainment is yet?
I'm not sure what the names of the bands. I think we need to kind of wait to see if we get the money before we hire someone. But last year we had 3 bands, I believe, and I think when we first started we had 2, and then we increased it to 3 and located them all the way up and down the boulevard where the bigger parking lots are and stuff for people to sit and watch a cruise. Personally, I think a lot of the people come down to listen to the music and just goof off because there's a lot more people around where the bands are than there are actually cruising the boulevard. But it is a nice, fun evening. Hopefully, eventually, we can increase it to a 2-day deal like Enid has, and then that will increase the number of people that spend more time in Alva as far as, motels and hotels and restaurants and that sort of stuff.
Having an early car show on Saturday may increase some people staying in Alva.
I'm hoping it will. But like I said, your first car shows are always not the big numbers like we have for our regular car show. And there's not going to be as much stuff going on. This is going to be more of a show and shine, come and go, enjoy the day. But the reason why I said 40 or 50 is because of the magnitude of our regular car show. I think we'll draw more people in. We'll be sending out flyers to all the people that have attended the car show, and a flyer for this event will be involved in it. I think they'll go out here next month.
How many years has this gone on now?
Oh, I'm wanting to say about 6. I'm not exactly positive the number of years.
I think this will be the 6th.
This will be the 6th, okay. So,
Did you start out with bands the first one?
yes, we did. I believe we had 2 bands the first year, and then I'm not positive, or maybe 1. I wasn't here the first year.
We had 2 the first year.
You did? I wasn't here the first year.
It's growing every year.
Yeah, it gets bigger every year.
This was the first one that I was able to go to this year, and it seemed huge.
There was people lined up
There
in
was-
the chairs all up and down the
All
boulevard.
up and down the boulevard. It
Yeah.
seemed-
And like I said, I think a high percentage of them are local. But we're gradually drawing in more and more. Last year, a bunch of my friends came down from Wichita to it. We see a lot of cars out of Woodward and Enid. A pretty good number out of Woodward, actually, come down to it. One of the clubs over there always makes sure that they bring several.
The main thing is that it keeps growing.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve an amount not exceeding $4,500 for the Boulevard Cruise and Car Show.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Charles? Connor?
Aye.
Norman?
Aye.
Thank you, guys. If it wasn't for you guys, this event and the car show would not happen. Near to the magnitude that they are. Thank you again.
There is
All right, the next item, discussion and consideration of resolution 2020-001, a resolution of the Tourism and Convention Development Committee supporting the Alva Arena Authority in the construction, maintenance, and continuing operation of an arena for the benefit of the city of Alva, Woods County, and Northwest Oklahoma. And actually, as you may know, we've been waiting a while on this language for this from attorneys to make sure that we were saying, I mean, we can't, this group cannot formally commit funds, but we can, this is sort of us saying that we intend to give funds, which I think that Sonia will tell us why that's important for us to do this resolution and continue on from there.
I wasn't presenting.
You're not presenting, okay? Then Mr. Holder will do that.
Mr. Holder's not here, but I'll be happy to at least attempt to
But I will answer questions.
lead the case.
You will answer questions, okay?
So we are here requesting for the resolution to be put from this board. These funds will be paramount in the operational expense of the arena project as we go forward. As we seek funding, and we are in the midst of seeking long-term funding from USDA, and this is one of the resolutions that we need to fulfill the packet to complete that project. We know that it's a little bit outside of the scope of this committee to do this kind of thing, but once we get rolling, we think that the entire community and the county will see lots and lots of benefit from it. It's important to USDA see where funding is going to be available, and that's the reason that we're here asking for the resolution. I'll be happy to answer any questions that anybody might have.
I've read the resolution and I thought it was well written.
Yeah, I've kind of heard the presentation once before too, so kind of a pretty good idea.
We just need to formally,
We just need to formally have a motion and a second and pass it.
I suppose it is possible.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Connor?
Aye.
Charles? Norman?
Aye.
I'll second what Ken Schultz said. I think I have permission to speak, but without this committee and the funds that come through it, there's a lot of events that wouldn't be possible. We hope that the arena project will add dramatically to what happens to the city of Alva and the continuing growth of our community and county. Thank you.
Well, when this committee started, we said, and Dr. Tucker and I were both on it at that time, 20 years ago, we said, we got to have more hotels and we got to have an arena. That was our goal from day one, was to have those things happen. So this is like the holy grail. All right, discussion and action on the Alva Arena Authority, not to exceed $150,000.
Okay, I guess that's me again. And it's kind of a ditto, right? And I was trying to hoping to kill two birds with one stone, but that didn't work. So the proposal that's in front of you is a budget that, since we have not started the project at this point, but we needed to present you something so that we could have funds available when that project starts, or if this committee so moves. And so what we've presented to you is part of our salary proposal towards the event, just to put something in front of you so that you could see part of the budget. Again, this will aid in the shoring up of our long-term USDA loan.
So this would be like for the coordinator and
Coordinator and their assistants, and trying to put things together. Honestly, we anticipate that there should have been a coordinator in place 24 months prior to construction in order to get that started. We haven't been successful in finding one yet, but we've got several that we think are close.
I was needed an event coordinator for a long time.
At least for the time being, this will be relatively selfish, and it will be for the arena project as far as the event coordinator is concerned. But if not to say that it wouldn't help coordinate other events in town.
Yeah, because the arena project needs to coordinate with other events in town. I mean, if you have other events going and they have something out there, it just messes everybody up.
Just want to be clear that the proposal is for the arena coordinator, but it will benefit others within the community as well. Compliment. I'll be happy to answer any more questions, or any questions that may be.
You're making this request, when do you anticipate that
Not today.
you may call a request? In other words, we have to have
Right.
evidence.
So this is a shelf request, if you will, that we need confirmation that this could happen. I would not attempt to suggest when we will get final notification on the USDA. We're moving quite rapidly through the process. We feel like that after the application is submitted, and we think that could be within the next 3 or 4 weeks, it could take as long as 6 weeks to get an answer from the USDA. We are shovel ready as we speak, and all we're waiting on is a funding project to come through. So, I would love to tell you that it'll be by the summer, and I think that's feasible, but can't put that in concrete. And if need be, we could come every 30 days or 60 days and update you as to when it would be, if your funding stream is, if that's necessary for your funding stream to understand where it's at.
Likely sometime this year, though.
Likely sometime in 2020.
I remember approve the request for $150,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the request.
Connor,
Aye.
Charles, Noble.
Aye. Thank you.
Very, very much.
All right, now I think Sonia is up for this. Discussion of possible future application of the Lieutenant Governor's sign. This is not, I'll give a little background before she gets up here. This is not actually, she's not actually bringing a formal request. She asked me about it. I said it's a little outside of what we've done. I do know that she's looking at some really large projects possibly coming out of this deal that would directly benefit Alva and the hotels. And so I said, hey, bring it as a discussion item. and go from there. So she's going to tell us why this is going to be good for our committee.
First of all, thank you. The Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor's Invitational Turkey Hunt is an economic development recruitment tool. It's something that Alva and Woods County has benefited from greatly over the past years. BNSF and the AVARD project came out of those discussions, our partnership with them. We have businesses that we're bringing in. This would be that red carpet treatment that we would be providing to them, and have them meeting with our local powers that be, trying to woo them, I guess, to our community. And this is where quality of life takes precedence. That is something that every industry that we speak with look at. So like the big cruising car show and the crazy, these things are vitally important to economic development and business recruitment, because people don't want to live here and not have anything to do. The Alva Arena Authority and the projects that they will be bringing in the events are vital to that. All of it ties together. And one of the things that you'll need for quality of life is restaurants and retail stuff. And on this list are site locators and retail strategists that we're bringing in to look at our communities to help us recruit those vital pieces. So we don't have empty restaurants sitting and empty downtown. And it's just a piece of the puzzle. This is a large budget. It's grown considerably. I thought we would cut back this year, and more than likely we're going to have probably maybe 10 more than we normally have. So we're scrambling for guides, landowners, and funding, because we not only bring them in and feed them, have dinners in the evening, but we lodge them, and it's a good experience. We have meetings throughout the day when they're not hunting, but we want to showcase our area and sell them on the people that we are and what we have to offer. And I'm not going to say that this would be something that I would come every year for. Just once in a while we might need some help as our list gets longer. So anyway, if you have questions about the event, it's kind of taken a little bit of a turn with the different lieutenant governor. Last year was his first year. Now with the rebranding, everything that we had, that's another reason for budget increases, because everything, we already had camera ready for everything. We step out and purchase giveaways, I say reminders of us that they take back with them, such as a folio, and it has Alva, Oklahoma all over it. And they change logos and stuff on us, of course. So, but we promote Alva, and we promote Woods County, and the people we have here, and the quality of life, which I think that's what this board's about.
I know the Lieutenant Governor's all about tourism, because that is one of his big focuses.
And our third largest industry.
Yes, whenever he would talk to Alex, it was all about looking at the tourism up here. But also I know, and I don't want you possibly to name the events you probably don't want to name the businesses that are looking at Alva, but you do have some, from what I understand, that are coming to Alva to look at Alva and the rail park and stuff because of this.
Because of this, yes. We have potentially a group from Scotland coming. I mean, we're not talking, and these are good, solid leads. that we are corresponding with, and it's just a key time, and a lot of them is getting them here together where they can network and build on each other. So BNSF plays a big part in a lot of that, and I coordinate businesses coming in with them and meeting Martin Marietta, other existing businesses, value-added products is one of them. You know, we're bringing in companies to help our local businesses as well. So contractors, the wind projects, they're going to be picking out contractors, and we want them to meet our local contractors and utilize them. So it's a business saving as well. I mean, it's helping local business as well.
How much money are you talking about?
I'm just thinking probably $2,000, $2,500. Nothing astronomical. I mean, I would ask you for my full budget, but there's a lot of sponsors that give their time and their money to help benefit. Like I said, I don't want it to be an annual thing or anything like that.
One of the guests that we had 2 years ago was actually the owner of the Phoenix Sun, big developer. And so, I mean, those guys come in and hopefully they fall in love with the area and what it amounts to.
It's a wide net that we cast.
So how many hunters do you actually have that come in? Is there a dozen or 20 or?
We generally are anywhere from 18 to 26. And
And are they all, is most of them new to the?
a good portion of them, yes, are new.
So it's not someone that comes every year that's.
We don't. The only exception to that would be like BNSF is a platinum sponsor at the state level, therefore they get a hunting spot, and to bring someone, they're bringing somebody to benefit us. So they would be an exception. Western Farmers Electric Cooperative that provided their platinum sponsor, same scenario. There are in Tubby, it's a partnership with the National Wild Turkey Federation. So of course their national board members they are strategically placed. There used to be just 6 communities that hosted this. There's 8, and it's not just communities. Like over at Pawnee, they hosted it 1 year, and then they formed a little group to host theirs. Oklahoma Southeast, their hunting season is different than ours, so theirs is held generally a week or 2 weeks after the regular hunt. Elk City is one that's new. Woodward host, Alva, Duncan, Okema. I think that's been, so we're pretty fortunate. Northwest Oklahoma is pretty well represented, but we are reaching out into the Panhandle. There's some projects going on out there that we have the resources here as well that we're talking to expand over in our area. So the Department of Commerce is really working with us well.
I will say this, that the Wild Turkey Federation sells a turkey hunt at their national convention. And almost without question, they want to come to Alva. And then so we get the guest that bought the hunt. And that's a compliment to Alva because of how well they're taken care of when they get here. You have to understand some of the other places have hunting cabins that are pretty priming. So, and we take good care of them, and that's where they want to go, is Alva. It's heard all over.
So, I mean, basically, we're not looking for a motion, it's just kind of a board what we think. If this is something that we think Sonia could bring back to us to present, I mean, I think it is in our wheelhouse. you know, we have the lieutenant governor coming who is just all about tourism. It's a really good time for him to see the arena plan. And,
Right.
I mean, but I told her come and get a consensus of the group and kind of go from there. I mean, I definitely think I'd be interested in looking at it.
Bring it on.
Okay, I appreciate it very much.
The next item, the discussion on possible changes to the tourism app, procedures and criteria. I would like to have our other members here when we do that and all. For myself, I mean, I don't mind talking about anything. I mean, I really like your idea of
Well,
having the changes to where you don't have to come before the committee all the time.
some of that info you handed out that I noticed, just one thing that I thought was interesting was some of those other places, they require the city's logo or the tourism logo at their event, wherever they're at. I don't think that's something we require right now, but,
No, we don't.
you know, if we sponsor this, you have to somewhere have, our Visit Alva logo, at the event that you're having. I just thought that was something small, but thought it was something that was interesting.
It is interesting.
Something
idea. It would be
easy, but-
Easy to do.
Branding.
Mhm.
My concerns going forward is I think we're gonna have to have a pretty sharp pencil as time goes on to be able to fund the arena, like the request that they're gonna need. Meaning that some of these things we're gonna have to look at, how much have we got to, if we take on this at 150, how much have we got to spread, And so we're gonna have to be cutting things, either cut things clear out or cut,
And I would think,
down by
hopefully,
50% or whatever that may be, but
hopefully this will offset that in the,
yeah, that's
Stays in
my
the-
hope. There's no way for us to know.
No.
right,
I mean, there's going to be a period of time where it takes some time to grow.
right,
Yeah.
But at the end, the hope is that it would.
far exceeds.
Exceeds the hotel revenues, bring this back up to the point of, that's the whole plan, that feeds upon itself. Yeah.
But if we have to start cutting, we may have to, just like this, if we've got 3 bands, maybe we have to go with 1 band on the Crazy Cool, or, things that,
Yeah,
and in order to keep it going, but particularly things that are a little bit, in the past, we've been pretty easy on things that are probably not really tourism,
Right,
They're
exactly.
Good projects, but.
that's
they
what
don't
we've been
put it back in
talking,
the hotel.
kind of where we've been talking about changing the criteria and stuff.
Yeah.
Making sure that it was tourism things.
Yep.
But,
I think
fortunately, we have enough money to go for a while and
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Yeah, 3 years, we're good, I think.
Yeah. We need the arena to be up and rolling. Full blow.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we need more hotels when it's all done.
Yeah.
That's.
Let's just build the ones we have. It works with the
Yeah.
ones we got to build. Yeah.
The car show.
Well, what we're talking about right here, we've got.
Oh, it does.
hotels.
Car show maxes out all the hotels within 35 miles. So, yeah. Yeah, we've checked on them. They'll all be full in Kiowa and everywhere that weekend.
On the car shows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, that's the kind of draw you're looking for right there.
yeah.
That's what limits us on the car show too.
Yeah, it needs more hotels. Yeah.
But we need more events like that year round.
Yeah, I mean, there was, at one point, a developer who had said that when the arena's up and running, he's gonna build the hotels. Whether he still does that or not, that's been stated.
Yeah, I think we need to be a full committee when we
Yeah, I think so too. So,
We'll just table this.
we'll table that one. We had our discussion on it, and we'll go on with that. And the last is remarks and inquiries. Anything you want to discuss? Any remarks? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
A motion, a second.
Charles,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Norm.